What if I told you the state of Connecticut passed a gun bill without any of us knowing about it, and it's not even bad, it's actually good for us? Before I get into all of that, I just want to say that I do appreciate all of the comments you guys have been throwing in lately. It really does help with the algorithm. So definitely continue throwing in your comments. I really want to know what you think about this. Down in the description below is always going to be a link to the merch store where you can go pick up some awesome merch. Sweatshirt season is coming up, so you might as well order them now so you have them in time for fall and winter. If you don't want to spend any money, I get it. Times can be a little tough. All it takes is you click the like button on this video, throw in that comment to help with the algorithm, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and toggle that notification bell so you get updated every single time I put up a video or I go live. We just did a live a couple of days ago and we were doing giveaways. So it always pays off basically to watch. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about Public Act number 25-157, also known as House Bill 6859. Now, this bill covers a lot. It says an act concerning the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection's recommendations regarding firearm information, security officers, firearm transfers, school security grants, and Fire Marshal Training Council and the Commission of Fire Prevention and Control and the Codes and the Standard Committee. Okay, what's all this mean? Well, none of us were really paying attention to this. During the legislative session, they had talked about getting rid of the DPS 67. Now, if you guys don't know, when you purchase a firearm here in Connecticut, not only do you go fill out your 4473 and the state's DPS 3, which is kind of like a title to the gun, it is a universal background check system, gun registry, that the state uses to ensure that we have to go through an FFL to transfer guns from person to person. So if I wanted to transfer a firearm to my wife, I can't just give her the firearm. I have to go to an FFL to get the gun basically out of my name, get a transfer number, and then get it into her name. And there's two transfers, me transferring to the FFL, and then the FFL transferring to Mrs. Guru. So we understand how that one works. But when we buy a gun, we also were filling out a form called a DPS 67. What is it? It was like a 4473 light. Had very similar questions on it. You filled it out, and it was required that the FFL keep a copy of it. Well, SLFU, during the public hearings, which we did know about, basically said, yes, this is redundant. We should get rid of it. We had no idea. We had no idea it went anywhere. We thought it just died in committee, but apparently it passed. So we started looking, and I mean Josh from Lock and Load in Southington and myself yesterday were looking for where did it go? What bill was it in? Well, we were able to find that it's in House Bill 6859. But on an initial search, looking specifically for DPS 67, we didn't find anything. Josh looked for it, couldn't find it. I had the bill up. I was kind of perusing through it real quick on my phone. I couldn't find anything, so I decided, I came home, I printed it out, I sat down, and I read the entire damn bill. I think I found it. I will do my best down in the description below, put a link to this bill itself. Now, on page 14 of the 44 pages that are there, you can tell what changed and what didn't change. What didn't change is normal, and what changed is now underlined. And it goes on to say that selling, delivering, or transferring such pistol or revolver completes a transfer document on a form prescribed and furnished by the Commissioner of Emergency Services and Public Protection, and then it normal text, because that's all been added. Then it says, such transfer document shall contain the name and address and the transferor or transferee, the date of the sale, the caliber, make, model, and manufacturing number, and a general description such as pistol, revolver, and the identification number of the transfer and transferee's permit to carry a pistol or revolver issued pursuant to subsection B of subsection 29-28, permit to sell firearms at retail, issued pursuant to subsection A of said section, or eligibility certificate for a pistol or revolver issued pursuant to 29-36F, if any, and the authorization number designated for the transfer by the Department of Energy Services and Public Protection, DESP, or SLFU, the Commissioner of Emergency Services and Public Protection, shall perform an instant criminal background check, blah, 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 and the rest is the same. So what they just said, basically, in all of that, I know it was long drawn out, but I want to read it verbatim for you, is the ATF, the federal government, requires you to do a 4473. Okay. That's federal law. We have to do that. This changes to where the state is saying you need to do your DPS 3, which is what they just described, because on your DPS 3, it's a handgun, it's a long gun. Here's a serial number, here's your name, here's this name, here's your transfer number, blah, blah, blah. And remember, you get a copy, FFL maintains a copy, state police get a copy, so SLFU, it's all electronic now, and your local PD gets a copy, which some departments are pretty based, and they just either throw them away or shred them because they just don't really give a rat's ass that you bought a gun. So, the DPS 3 is going to stay, but the DPS 67, the 4473 Lite, is no longer listed because of this bill. So, come, I think it's October 1st, effective October 1st, 2025, you will no longer have to fill out your DPS 67. Not much is going to change. It's one piece of paper, guys. It's not like, oh my God, it's amazing. No, it's just one piece of paper, but it basically it gets rid of the double work, which kind of is a no-brainer. Now we just have to work on getting rid of those DPS 3s because, well, that is the universal background check system the state uses, which means they must maintain a registry, which they tell us that they don't have a registry. But as you all remember, when I registered my so-called assault weapons, I was able to show you the complete registry according to the state of Connecticut. In the portal, it listed all of my guns known to the state of Connecticut. And there was a button there that, well, I could hit and register my firearm with them if it was not listed. Fat chance of that happening. But unfortunately, I had to do that because one of my Connecticut others was not listed. It was purchased at a time when DPS 3s were done by hand, and we all know that SLFU currently has like a 4 to 5 year backlog of all the mailed in DPS 3s across the state. Now they're all done electronically, so it's somewhat instant. Your FFL plugs your information in, submits it, it's all done automatically. If it comes back with a TD or a temporary denial, then yes, we must call them and they must look into it. Usually they just, get it to clear out because this or that, it could be a hiccup in the system, and then it gets pushed through, boom, you get your gun. Otherwise, it would take longer. If you have a unique name, like myself, usually it just goes straight through and there is no TD because actually I am the only one who, with my name, that has a gun permit, not only in the state of Connecticut, but pretty much across the country. Even my NICS checks come back super fast because I guess I'm the only one. Versus if you have a common last name like Smith or whatever, those names are quite common and tend to kick back TDs, and they just have to look at it, take a little scrutiny to it just to make sure that you are supposed to be able to purchase a gun, so on and so forth. It's not a big deal. Literally dealt with a customer who had a TD, and it took like 2 minutes to call them and say, here's the permit number, here's their name, blah, blah, blah. And they were able to say, yep, nope, they're good to go. So it doesn't take that long. But hey, good news, guys. The DPS 67 is going away in about a month. All right, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Don't forget, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Definitely like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see all of you in the next video.